Okay, and settings are correct, so... Hello everyone!
Hello.
A voice you may not have heard in a while. I've not been streaming in a while, so I'm going to be very, very rusty, so don't... don't blame me. But yes, hello everyone, welcome. This is IIRL 82, this is round 3 of Season 11. We are here for the Mexican Grand Prix. Short qualifying tonight, only 15 drivers, potentially 16, I'm not quite certain on that front, but... we will find out when we can. And the weather is dry. Okay, good. Nobody's going to have any accidents. I can't have that one. No, that one.
But like, what was it? It was NA, wasn't it, that had a wet qualifying?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, which is always
I don't know if
interesting.
I
The fact
want
that it
to
was.
remember that or not.
Oh yeah, when you see it. Oh, you recovered well.
Whoops.
What happened? Did you just not get a lap in? Did you not hook one up?
No, I invalidated the final corner.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so.
That's all. But, yeah. Today, I'm here with Smaller. Everyone welcome, say hello.
Hello, hello.
And we've already got some cars getting out onto the track. I've not been keeping up with 82 as much as I really should have been. But I do know
Well,
that Jack was the winner of the last race.
what I'll do is I'll get up sim roster, shall I? And then we can have a look at some statistics.
That would be helpful. Normally I'm the stat man, but I'll let you take over for this one.
With my trusty laptop doing things.
Yes. I think it'll be a bit of a quiet one today, to be honest. At least from our side. It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day for me.
Yeah, I've been up since 7-ish. I was doing RC cars this morning.
Oh yeah, you were, weren't
Yeah, that was good fun. No, Jack, this is not socks.
you?
there is no socks today, unfortunately. But I'm sure you're hearing that as you are starting your lap. Hello, Ethan. It is not quite morning. But yes, hello, welcome to the stream. As we have Jack underway for our first lap. We'll go over the last race after this lap, if that's okay with you. Heading into turn 1, you'll want to be braking just before the 100. Obviously, this isn't no assist. These drivers do have the line available to them, but Jack is one of our drivers that runs in the no assist tier. Nicely over the T123 curves and with a good exit onto the second straight. First sector times 27.8. Into turn 4 and 5 now. It's deceptively tricky, this track. Turn 6, double apex right-hander. Important to get the traction out of it so you can carry some good speed into the S's. Speaking of which, turn 7. Want to be almost mullering the curbs, but not enough that you're bottoming out. It's a good line from Jack through the second sector, coming up to the split, now 56.3. Into the final sector now. Another important corner to cut on that right-hander, nicely into the hairpin. Not really cutting on the exit, but a good bit of traction on the exit of the final corner through the Peraltada, and Jack starts us off with a 15.6. So, next car to the line will be Jamie, one of our winners, I believe. I think he won the first race.
He won last week.
The first race was not
Oh
last
no,
week.
first race. First race. Yes, he did.
As Leon
I
Cho as
clicked.
well
I
puts
swear I
himself
clicked on
up into P2.
on Vegas.
There's a yellow flag in sector 1. I imagine that's Jack getting out of people's way. It's a good start for Haas, all both with them within 4/10 of Jack at the moment in the lead. Mobugs has invalidated his lap, so I imagine he'll be going again. There's a Ferrari next to the line of that is Steely. He got very unlucky in the first race. He'll be hoping to rectify that tonight. He's got some good pace on him. So we'll see where he can go. Towards the line now. 59 into P4.
It's very, very close so far, isn't it?
100%. And this is why we brought back 82. Because frankly, this is some of the best racing that we've had. Some of the closest racing that we've had for a while. Pez puts himself into P6 with an 18-1. Padge starting his lap now next to the line will be Alessandro, or his gamer tag Il Predestinato. I'm going to be butchering that all night long. Puts himself up into P6, 7/10 off Jack. Next car to the line, I believe, will be Pilska. It will through the Peraltada up into P6, replaces Alessandro. About a 10th ahead. So yes, previous round review, shall we call it, please?
Yeah, so let's have a quick look at our previous round in Las Vegas. We had, and we've just had Predestinato spinning on their way around. Oh dear.
Don't want
Obviously,
to be
they've
doing
already
that.
set their first lap. Yeah, at least they've
You
already
can't
used those
park there,
tyres,
sir.
right? Yeah, so last week we had the race winner of Wizard Mitten, finishing P1 with Pilska, who set the fastest lap of the race. We had two drivers not finish, it seems. Rounding up the podium was Finzik and AMKMK, with Steely fourth, Gaming Wizard in fifth. Yeah, so far, there seems to be sort of a different mix at the top than last week.
100%. I mean, Finzik as well, he's been quite consistent, but he's not here today taking the full-time Sauber seat. Not ideal for him to be missing his race, especially for this race, especially for his championship chances. Who's the championship leader at the moment?
Who is the championship leader? Let me get the leaderboard up.
Ethan, currently on a 25 stream watch streak. Congratulations.
It's actually currently Finzik with 40 points.
Yeah, that's not a surprise. Mr. Consistent of the season so far.
Yeah, Wizard Mitten on 34 points, with Steely rounding up the top three with 30 points.
So either Steely or Jack could take the championship lead today, but it's looking like Jack is, especially with his pace at the moment at the start of short qualifying. 2/10 ahead of the next car, Leon Show, who is a debutant this season, but this is not his first race. Padge next to the line, 59, puts himself up into P4. There's a good showing from Aston Martin at the moment. Next car to the line will...
That's a great lap from Padge.
Lydio, who is our debutant tonight. Currently 6/10 up, I believe I saw that. Somebody has decided to kill the cone in the final sector. Lydio coming towards the line now. Doesn't opt for the short line, but still puts himself P7. That's a good lap. Alex next to the line. What's he going to get as well? 16.4 up into P10, ahead of Mobux and Pez. Speaking of which, Mobux is actually 8/10 down, so I imagine he'll come into the pits now. Yes, he does. So it is Corgi next to the line. I think he's 8/10 up on Alex. If he can keep that going, he'll be putting himself right in the fight, and does. Puts himself 15.4 P1. I do remember this being one of the tracks that Corgi said he likes.
Yes,
so could we
he
see
does.
a Corgi podium, potentially a win?
Maybe. First win for Corgi, alright?
I think his best result is P2.
Yeah.
I think he lost out to Rothwell in Baku season 7 and Nifty in Canada season 7.
I'm going to say Canada rings a bell.
These are results that I'm picking off the top of my head.
Same.
I'm pretty certain that he finished P2 in those races. We could always double check those. Mark puts himself into P13 behind Alex and his teammate Alessandro. Next car to the line will be Pilska to... no? Yeah, Pelska to start, then Pez, then it is that is Corgi again. KMK, who is not improving, but Steely is by half a tenth in the first sector so far. I don't know if this feels bad to say, right? But these cars don't look quite as on rails through the S's as the NA lot do.
Yeah,
Steely
I sort of know what
very,
you mean.
very close to invalidation there on exit. But I get the feeling that as a note to kind of improve for these guys, I think it's a good idea to just try and maximise the track as much as you can. I've noticed some people not quite doing that, and it's completely common. It's a common mistake that everyone makes as Jack puts himself back up into P2 with a 15.5 within a tenth of Corgi. But it's definitely
Yeah.
something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so obviously track limits around Mexico is something that's actually it's very difficult to manage, isn't it? It's very easy to get your track limit warnings around here. So
100%.
that's probably where that's where you see the difference the 82 and the NA drivers, for example, is you know the 82 drivers don't have as much of that confidence just to throw it in and you know just send it essentially, like the NA
Yeah,
drivers are more used to.
which is
Um,
fair enough.
and with it being the corners, the line might also be sort of help guide them. But as it is, it's a guide without the line in an A. You naturally go towards the more optimistic, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've
Welcome
seen
in,
it a
David.
couple times. Yes, hello, David. Welcome into the stream. Apologies you can't be racing tonight. I hope you get better soon, my friend. But yeah, we've seen it a couple times in Creator Series, I think it is, where the line has sometimes given a bit of a distraction to drivers and uh, not necessarily created some incidents, but definitely contributed to some. Not to say that it's a bad thing, obviously, if you're still learning, it's a great way to learn and improve. I should know. I wasn't exactly NA right from the get-go. As that
Oh, the
is
RBs.
Jamie, who puts himself 1-2
What a show for the
for...
RBs.
Yeah, started off with an Aston show. Then it was a Haas with which was net P2 and P4, and now we've got a V-Carb 1-2. Shades of Season 10, hello. Or Season 7 if you want to go back that far. Especially in 82.
Yeah, so here we go. We're looking at the after the first round of qualifying laps, how close the whole grid is here on this track. I think it's quite easy to sort of um have varying times on Mexico. There's definitely places where you can shave a good chunk of time off. But even so, like it's very, very close all the way through. Like
100%.
the on the final flying laps that the drivers will go through, they don't need to improve much to gain a number of places.
Mm. Which is a bit... It's not necessarily a surprise, considering that short tracks kind of tend
Yeah,
to create shorter margins. But even like this, it's never normally this close.
no.
I mean, if we look at it now, we've got 3/10 covering first down to 7th. That is half the grid. Which is insane. And there's still more lap times to come in. Next car to the line is Lidio up into P8. I think then it will be followed by Alessandro, who is lagging slightly, unfortunately. I did have a bit of a lag scare, but the stream actually looks okay on my end as Alex puts himself up into
Alex was
P8.
15.7.
That's a good lap, 3/10 off Corgi,
A
off
really
into
strong lap.
the back end of, well, very much the mid pack. So not quite where you really want to be, but that is KMK on an outlap behind him. So therefore, the next car to the line to set a lap will be Mark, I believe. As there's an incident there. That is MC Squad not quite getting out of the way of Mark, who was on a push lap. That's some unfortunate timing. Mark does have damage and now has a 5-place penalty.
Oh, and having to get out of the way of another car as well.
Yeah, that will be probably a blocking penalty on
Did he come onto the
their
track
part.
again? No, right in front of a Red Bull as well. He's just got caught up in a very, very busy situation, hasn't he?
It's unfortunate, yeah, but I imagine that will be sent to the stewards later.
Yeah.
David, I'm going to hop out, catch you both later. Yeah, that's alright, David, see you later. Cards Against Humanity post-race. I'd imagine that you would join us if you were feeling up to it, Smaller.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, where are we now? Yeah, Alex is one of the drivers that's sort of been with us for a few seasons now. When they first started, they were very much sort of, racing around the back, but, Alex never retired. He always kept practicing. He's always been watching the streams. And I think in the past couple of seasons, he's really, really improved. Like, now he's really strongly in the middle of the pack.
100%. I really do like to see drivers improve from where they were compared to where they are. I know that Alex has had a lot of support from a lot of people, and I think that he should think proudly of himself from where he's come to where he is now. Because genuinely, it's such a major improvement, and it's so impressive to see that kind of dedication. There's not many that you'd find that in. As the Haas boys are separated by 4 milliseconds. But I think
it seems to be consistent with teammates. So look, we've got the 2 RBs together, we've got the 2 Haas together, we've got the Aston Martins at sort of 3rd and 6th.
We've got
the
both
Williams that are 8th and 9th.
And nearly both Alpines.
This is like real life, isn't it?
Just a bit, yeah. But it's not quite Noah's Ark, is it? As KMK puts himself to the top with a 15-2, 2 tenths ahead of Corgi. So Corgi will need to pull it out of the bag if he wants to take pole on this one. Pez next to the line, can't improve, he's 3 tenths off. Will he have the fuel or battery to go again, or the time? I don't think he will.
No, he's definitely not got the battery to go again.
That is Leon Show next to the line to start. Mark has rejoined. I did note that he disconnected, but I couldn't quite do anything about that, unfortunately.
Let's see.
Pilsker next to the line, currently 4.5 tenths up. Let's see what he can do in the final sector.
Yeah, so news on Pez. It doesn't look like he has the fuel to go again. If he can manage his battery and get to the line, which I think he might do. He had about 1 minute 10 on the clock at the end of turn 1. We could see Pez going out and under lap.
5. He's giving a slight slipstream to his teammate, but probably wanting to not get in anyone's way. We'll go with his teammate, Steely, who on his last run improved by 2 tenths. We'll see what he's able to do here. Hopefully, for his sake, as that is Alessandro moving himself up into P12. Steely half a tenth down on his previous best come the first sector. KMK retires in the pit lane, so that is his session done. The 15-2 is the time to beat. Pez to the line is going to be able to start another lap, only just. There's MC Squad next to the line, no, that is Leon Show next to the line, moves himself up into P3. Alessandro has retired on track. Steely has invalidated.
Borg is currently half a tenth down at the moment.
But improving in the middle sector, having gone purple. Hopefully he
Padge
won't
with
get
the P2.
Hopefully he won't get any dirty air from Steely in front. See what Corgi's able to do come the final sector. Towards the line now, it's 15.5, can't improve. That's Jack to the line, goes fastest by 100th less than. Lydio to the line, puts himself up into P9. That's Mobucks to the line, where he go only P12.
MC Squad going into the pit. Pilsker also going into the pit.
And Pez will be your last car, but he has invalidated, so that is your wrap for qualifying.
Wow, that was a bit of action towards the end, wasn't it?
Certainly, and 8 milliseconds separating pole between Jack and KMK, but Jack winning out on that one, continuing where he left off from Vegas.
And look at that with Padge with a P3.
It's a
Technically,
great result for Aston
technically the
Martin.
yeah, technically the pole position. See if Padge can do anything going down the long straight. Obviously, Corgi in fourth. That's a really, really strong showing. It's just so close in that all the way down from there.
100%. Hello,
Hi,
Morgan.
Morgan.
Mr. Newspaper Man, we've been
And
missing your newspaper.
we ran out of ink.
Needs a new printer.
So yeah, here we
But
go. Our grid with
yeah,
Jack with a 1 minute 15.2 and then 8 thousandths of a second behind AMKMK with Padge and Corgi and Leanshow. I'm all within 2/10 of the leader.
yeah, from there you've got Jamie, who's P6 for 15.4, Pilska, MC Squad, Lydio on debut as a good result, Steely, Alex, Mobux, Alessandro, Pez, and Mark rounding off your grid. And now it is the 5 minute yap. Well, we can do anything and everything so long as it's within DOS.
So it's looking like a bit of a cloudy day today. Skippy Dingle
Skippy
Shot's
Ding.
finding how to fly to all the countries.
You need to get your info from, what's his name? Who's the journalist that's online? Chris Medland. Get your info from him. But yes, welcome back in nonetheless. But yeah, as you say, very, very close between the entirety of the field. I mean, I saw 15.7 ranging down to P11, which is
Yeah,
three
so
tenths
it's
covering P3 down to P11. So this is going to be a tight race, and I would say that actually strategy is probably going to be a massive factor in this.
yeah, so I'm guessing most people are going to be opting for the two stop. I think statistically the faster strategy. We had was it Codcamper on Tuesday that managed the one stop. With a little bit was there a VSC sort of halfway through that sort of helped?
There
Um,
was, yes, but he extended that medium stint in order to be able to make that. So very impressive work there.
yeah, it was very impressive, but like I say, would it work with these drivers, particularly if there's no safety cars? I think we will be waiting to find out.
Yes, we will. But yeah, already a bit of a manic start, just to say the least. Hopefully more of that in the race. Of course, we'd all want it to be kept clean and fair, but of course we also want the action. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
obviously, with
you go.
people like Padge and Corgi up in sort of the top area, that they're going to be wanting to try and keep it clean. The last thing they want is to be put up into anything and sort of tumble down the order.
Hmm. I mean, these guys now. I mean, a lot of these guys joined when we had assist here. So the guys at the front at the moment that have been running in assist here in the past, or haven't really had the chance to be at the front before. I reckon that they could probably be a bit nervous in terms of trying to manage it. Obviously, we saw Jack fend off last week to take the win in Vegas, so there's definitely one accounted for. And Padge is, I believe, a one-time race winner off the top of my head, back in season 182. That's actually an interesting stat that I want to look into. What's the biggest gap between race wins?
Hmm.
I would love to know what that is. Because if Padge ever gets that, I know for a fact he's not had a win since season 1. And I'm certain that he's had one.
Yeah.
So if Padge ever wins this season, which based off of his performance over the last couple of weeks, is not unlikely. So you never know. It could happen. But, of course, we want all of our drivers to do well. We are impartial. And I need to get racing again. The races are always when I go to the gym. That is very, very unlucky timing. I do understand that. I mean, I've had some races where I've... I actually had a little incident earlier this week when I was doing PSGL. I missed my train. Or I missed my train stop. So
Oh yeah.
I I had to rush back home so I could actually make the race. So I nearly missed it, but no, it was all good. But I've never had that happen before. It's kind of something new that I'm getting used to with uni. Is that when I'm on the way home, I need to think, sugar, am I going to make the race? I caught myself there.
So Jack saying that they're underfueling, so straight away.
That's an
And
interesting
we
one. I
have
don't actually know what the fuel is. I can't remember, which is going to really annoy me. But I think you save fuel when you're in a train, but when you're out in front, it's going to be quite difficult to save fuel. I mean, normally
is he betting on a safety car? I mean, there is a good chance of there being a safety car here in Mexico. There's lots of places where you can just drop it and hit a barrier.
And already we can see a bit of a split. We have KMK and Mobux both on the hards. And everyone else is on the mediums. So no pressure on those two to try and extend as much as they can, but I think they'll be a bit under pressure when it comes to the pit stop phases, especially with the undercut. I don't know why, but I can't see the assisted Discord section. Like, the last post on it for me is the Suzuka one from last season.
Had you signed up to race this season, Morgan? That might be why. If you hadn't signed up yet on Sim Roster, we might not have added your tags.
Respectfully, based off of assisted last season, we can assign you 82 roles if you'd like them. And see what you can do on that. Just when you can race when you get a chance. We always appreciate the drivers that turn up. Week in, week out. And a lot of these guys are very, very committed. So we are very grateful for them.
Oh, so KMK actually dropped it a little bit coming out of the final corner. Had to wait for a few cars to go by.
I did not notice that.
So, tyres, we have most people on the mediums, but we actually have KMK and Buxy on the hard tyres from 2nd and 12th. Oh, to boot, he's missed his grid spot and been set back a little bit,
That's
as
so
well
unlucky.
as KMK. Thankfully, being such a long run down to turn one, it might not be as much of a problem.
100%. It's just going to be slipstream mania.
Yeah.
As we look towards the lights. 4-5. Pez already with the drive-through penalty, but the lights go out and we're underway for assisted too. That's a good start for Jack and for Corgi as well on the mediums. It's an Aston 1-2 already. Padge in the slipstream of his teammate. Corgi trying to fend off Leonshow in the Haas. They're going to be side by side, 3 wide nearly into turn 1. But it is an Aston 1-2. And Leonshow sending it round the outside. Corgi holding the inside through turn 3, and that's a good defence from the V-card man there.
Really clean.
Yeah, 100%. That's honestly cleaner than I was expecting for turn 1, 2, 3. Because we've already seen chaos across the last few tiers. That's Steely making a good start round the outside of Jamie, unfortunately being pushed off a bit. And Jamie's been tapped round by Lidio. That's not good for one of our previous race winners, but Steely does take the benefit from that and moves up into 6th place. KMK holding on quite well with those hards. It goes side by side through the S's. I noticed there. Look like Mobux and Mark, potentially Mark with a good start from P15 up to P11, avoiding the chaos. Alex unfortunately falling to P13, and Pez with that drive-through penalty as well. He'll be coming in rather soon, I imagine.
The Prof Boy thankfully didn't have any wing damage, so he's caught back up to the train and he can run his race from there. So thankfully he doesn't have to pit for a new wing.
Yes, 100%. As Jack already nearly breaking the DRS of his teammate Padge. That's Corgi, who might look to get past relatively soon if he does think that he's quicker than our league owner. There's a move that was looking for further back. The 2 Alpines going side by side of Alessandro and Mark. That is... What the heck was going on there? I just saw some names changing at the bottom as Padge definitely has fallen out of the DRS range now. So
Yeah, so we're
see
gonna have
what
Corgi wanted to get
happens.
past Padge as soon as possible to try and keep hunting Jack down. Although Padge has caught, is hovering around that DRS sort of zone. I wonder if Padge has a bit more of a higher downforce setup to help catch up in these sections.
Could we see some team tactics where Jack slows down to keep Padge in DRS so that Corgi isn't able to overtake?
Possibly popping off the signs from Singapore.
Of course, that race was good as well. How many safety cars says Rids?
I said 6, maybe 7.
I dislike that.
I'm
As Jack
so
now sets
childish.
fast lap again, 19-0, that's a great lap. Will we see an attack from Corgi? We're certainly going to see an attack from Linsho on
Oh.
the back of the V-carb driver. Looks to the inside, but does tuck back in. Was
Almost
pushing
nudges
Corgi through
there,
turn
yeah.
1.
Get a move, what he's saying.
Corgi going a little bit wide there. It's a
Oh,
bit of a wiggle from Linsho there. I think Corgi's just trying to back off and save tyres potentially, but no, Linsho can't quite make a move past. As we see, Padge has dropped a long way out of DRS now.
yeah,
1.6 seconds the gap as Corgi fending off Linsho again into turn 6. Not a common overtaking move, but certainly one that you can try and almost works. Reminds me of Ricardo Sonoda in real life when that happened, but unfortunately that didn't quite pay off either.
Yeah, so Jack must be loving Padge right now, holding up these drivers. But, you know, it's like so much pressure pushing Padge along. You know, if anything was happening to Padge, all these drivers certainly, like, you know, storm back to catch up. So Padge is working a miracle right now defending for Jack.
100%, and these are even better with the team play as Linsho's going to be wanting to get a move on here. Is much further alongside now than he was last lap. Corgi squeezing him to the inside. Linsho looks to get ahead before the braking zone and does just about get that done. Pez comes in to serve his drive-through as Jamie follows him in as well for the hard tyres. That's very early, but an undercut nonetheless.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out as Linsho looked correct under braking there for a bit. Certainly not ideal.
So we've had the first few laps so far. We're on to lap 4 of 36. We've had a few different moves and changeovers. KMK obviously dropped 3 places down into 5th. Our biggest gain has been Steely and Mark, both gaining 4 places so far.
There's a spinner, that is MC Squad at the exit of the S's. I just caught that because I saw that the Alpines were inside each other. Don't ask me to explain that one, but there's some big chaos going on at the moment. There are cars everywhere. Pilska and Lidio going side by side. Mark trying to take advantage, as is Alessandro, by ghosting through people. Okay, that lag needs to be looked at, no offence.
And I'm trying to clip it. It looked like a car went over another
That's
car.
a very odd one, as that is Linsho getting past Padge and KMK getting past Corgi, so maybe the hards are faster now. But will they be faster later in the stint? Lidio is able to get past Pilska. Pilska going side by side. They're nearly 3 wide.
Ooh.
Mobuk's able to take mark in all this on those hards. Alessandro looks like he's wiggling on every exit. That is Mobuk's looking to the outside of Pilska. That's a bold one, but certainly a move that you could try. Has the inside for turn 5. Leaves Pilska the room. Unfortunate for the contact. That looks to me just like contact model. They're both going to get penalties. That's really unfortunate. That looks really unlucky because... as Corgi's been spun... Corgi has spun in the S's, as has Alessandro.
So these medium tyres just dropping off all
now.
suddenly, yeah.
That's so unfortunate. I missed that for Corgi, and Corgi has a lack of front wing. Unfortunately, that would mean that he has hit the wall. But that incident between Mobux and Tilska, what's your opinion on it? I don't know if you've seen it
I
at
didn't
all.
catch it, unfortunately, but thankfully for Corgi, having to pit now is also the time when he can pit for his fresh tires for 2 stops. So thankfully, it's not like he's having to pit extra, waste any tires or anything. So that's really handy. He's actually opting for the mediums again.
That's an interesting one. Unless he thinks he's
Yeah,
gonna try for a one stop? Or initially try
unless
for a one stop.
unless the balanced option only gives you one set of hard tires, doesn't it?
That's very true.
So I wonder if, which I think's pretty poor to be honest, like only having one set of hards.
Oh my word. Sorry, I'm just seeing like back here that Alessandro is lagging quite a lot. It's getting a bit hectic to say the least.
People are just gonna want to get past, aren't they? So they don't get sort of
100%. The car
lagged
behind
into.
is
Yeah.
Alex, who
Oh, and he has a big wiggle coming through the S's, does Alessandro.
is going to be costing the drivers behind a lot of time. Pilsker now on the back of Alex on the inside of the right-hander at the start of Sector 3, just about getting through there side by side. That's impressive work from both of them. Alex able to take the inside and hold the position. That's some good defensive driving from Alex there. So he'll be hoping to get past Alessandro on this main straight now so he doesn't have to deal with that lag. MC Squad and Pairs going side by side. That's Jamie going for an outrageous send. Just about makes it stick. That's an incredible move. MC Squad on the inside of the final corner on those soft tyres. That's a great move from Jamie to get 2 in 1.
Because of how long will those soft
Wow.
tires last, though?
But also, he's left himself vulnerable for the main straight. Because MC Squad has DRS back. They're going to be side by side into turn 1. MC Squad trying to just squeeze him over. Jamie's sending it on the inside. Just about able to get it stopped. That is Pilsker who's gone round at turn 4. Not quite certain what's happened there. Potentially involving Alessandro. Jamie again looks to the outside. MC Squad just about able to fend off of the switchback. That's a great fight that we've had there. But on Pilsker and Mobucks,
Jack pits.
it just looked so unfortunate. But I think that will screw over Mobucks more than it will Pilsker, because I think that Pilsker's probably not going to serve his 3-second penalty, where Mobucks will serve his 10.
That's
That
Jack
is
onto
really
the hard tires.
unfortunate. That'll be Jack going for a 2-stop then. Mobucks moves his way past Lidio. If Mobucks does serve that 10 seconds, we won't be able to remove it either. Which makes that even worse for the Red Bull driver.
I'm thinking Corgi might be in an okay position. Yes, he's down in 14th, but he might be able to eke out these medium tires to the point where you would swap for the next set of hards, similar like as Cod Camper did. Sort of making up a 1-stop, but sort of having a 5-lap head start on instead 1-stop. He might be able to eke out the tires a little bit more to sort of keep himself in the race and not having to hit again unnecessarily. We've got Jack all over the rear of Alessandro, and again, Alessandro spinning on the start of the S's.
His
really struggling
setup
on those
must be
tyres
so
now.
loose, as he's not the only one. That's Alex going off in the S's as well.
Wow, so now these tyres are starting to wear down. You're seeing drivers spin. I think once you spin once on this game, the tyres just die, don't they?
That is Padge responding to his teammate, both of them coming in to the pit lane. Game, if you'd please give me a different camera angle so I can see if Alex has any damage, I would be very appreciative. As nicely into the pit entry there, very slow but also very sensible. I don't believe I saw any damage. That is Williams double stacking, but there might be enough of a gap
Yeah, I think
that Alex
definitely.
can have enough time to get in and out. So Lidio onto the hard tyres for the 2-stop. Padge coming out 4.5 seconds behind his teammate in Jack, who's net P1. That is KMK and Lane Show both fighting for the race
Wheel
lead
banging
on track. As Mobucks does also pick up a 3-second penalty. I believe that won't count his 10-second as a warning either, so that's going to not be removed even if he gets that 10 removed. which is very unfortunate. But KMK on those hards does definitely have the pace advantage over Lianshow and Steely at the moment. We'll be hoping to get past on this straight. Lianshow, I'm surprised he hasn't come in yet if he wants to respond to the others, unless he's aiming for a one-stop. That could be the only thing that I think. Steely
Yeah, there
comes
must
in
be.
off the mediums, KMK does get past on the straight, Mobucks also stays out on those hards, and Mark follows in Steely. So we'll see where Jack comes out. He'll be well ahead of Steely, he'll be well into the lead of this race. So it is a net Aston 1-2 at the moment. Alessandro picking up a penalty for multiple warnings. As again, we've got the team double stacking in the Alpines, Mark coming in ahead of Alessandro. Unfortunate timing, but what can you do when you can't take your tyres any longer?
Oh, KMK drifting through the S's there.
I didn't quite catch that one. He'll be pushing.
Nice big slide, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be pushing as hard as he can to try and break Lianshow from his DRS, and I think he will have done just that. Gap is about a tenth and a half now, 3/10 on entry and exit, as he's definitely got Lianshow out of his DRS now. So we'll see what Lianshow does. He stays out. I think Lianshow's going for a one-stop.
Yeah, we've got still a mix of like, well, massive mix of tyre ages on the grid so far. You know, I wonder if people saw COD Campers run with the one stop back on Tuesday and thought maybe try and go for it. I guess the one thing as well is it would help to sort of extend your stint if you're hoping for a safety car as well. If you get a safety car, then all these people that are staying out have got a very, very free pit stop.
Lianshow's not the only one trying a one-stop. It seems Pilska's also staying out while he can make those mediums last. He's got Corgi on those fresher mediums going for it at the end. Lydio moving past MC Squad on those dying softs. 6 laps on those, they will be screaming now. There's Corgi looking to pile the pressure on Pilska. Can't quite shape for a move yet. As that is Mark getting past MC Squad
pushing
as
Pilska
well.
along.
Mark just about getting ahead of MC Squad before the apex of turn 5. That's a good move from Mark. As Corgi will want to be getting past relatively soon. I imagine he'll go for it on the main straight when he has the DRS available. The dirty air through here in the S's is just such a pain. You can lose so much both front and rear grip that you just never know when you're going to lose the car.
Yeah.
But that's why this track is so fun, because it is just that much of a challenge. And it's a good challenge, I would say. As Corgi definitely lining up for a move. Pilska coming into the pit lane as Corgi was lining up a switchback.
And he's got a nice
bit of time
double
there.
helping of DRS with no one in front of him, all the way down these two straights.
If we look at the gap to the leader to see where KMK would come out, he'd come out just about behind Padge at the moment. If not, just a little bit ahead of Steely, but on the cold tyres I reckon that Steely could potentially go past in turn 4/5.
Lydio balancing around the DRS range of Corgi on those fresh tyres. Obviously, those hards will soon be faster than the 6-off-old mediums of Corgi.
I
Hoping to
reckon
make
those
an
hards will be faster
overtake.
now.
Yeah.
Because those mediums, even on lap 6, will be screaming. Because normally, lap 6 is where you want to start for the 2-stop, as Lianshow picks up a 3-second penalty. That will very much hurt his race, as he does come into the pit lane now. Will he make it on a 1-stop from here? I'm not certain on that one. We'll see what he's able to do. Both of the hard runners, that is
and we
MC
have
Squad in the S's with a rear right puncture, is that? No?
No, front left wing damage.
Ah, so they would have hit the wall. As Lianshow moves on to another set of mediums. Well, he is royally screwed for this race then, because he needs to come in again. That doesn't help his
Well,
race
he
in
might
the
be going just
slightest
through an
as...
old. Again, they might have picked the balanced tyre strategy, only giving them one set of hards. They had to extend the mediums to do a medium, medium, hard.
Just personally, it's a bit of an odd choice. The hards are almost always a better race tyre. So, thinking strategically, at least from my side, I would be looking to take medium, hard, hard. But it does definitely create some interest for us because we never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, and obviously we don't get to see what tyre strategy they choose as well. Most might have accidentally picked the balance, not realizing they only get the one set of hard.
As Jack has now caught up to Mobux for
They're planning on
the
attacking this lap.
road.
Oh, he's gaining very, very quick. He's just going for it. He's not waiting around. He's come up to
You're,
behind a box and he wants to get past.
You achieved a podium in 81 on Thursday. You'll definitely be looking to gain a bit more traction in this championship. So we'll see what he can do from here, but he's definitely going to be extending the gap and then closing some on KMK, especially with the help of DRS. Speaking of DRS, Steely's nearly in it for Padge. So we'll see what he's able to do. Leanshow also on those fresh mediums. We'll see what he can do in order to close down that gap between himself and Steely and potentially put himself in the fight for what is net P2 at this stage in the race. This is all going to be really weird when it shakes out as well, isn't it?
Yeah, got lots of different tyre strategies, lots of different pit stop times. I think it's all going to come together at the end, isn't it? But people are still very, very close on track. Yeah, they might be out of DRS, but people are together. All it'll take is one little spin, one little mistake, and we'll see people having a battle.
100%. And also, we can't factor out a safety car yet. As that is
Yes,
Corgi picking up a 3 seconds as well. Fortunately for him, that does not affect him right now. As that is Steely looking to the inside on Padge, moves himself up into a net P2. As Corgi does come into the pit lane, I presume to put on another set of hards and go to the end of this race.
Yeah, I think so. It was about this time that COD Camper came into the pit on their hards on Tuesday, so hopefully getting to the end. I guess one thing that might help is a very, very late safety car where people put softs on for a couple of laps.
Well, it depends if you have fresh softs or not.
True, yeah.
As Jack already has closed in 2 seconds on KMK. Pez just about getting Corgi into the brake zone turn 1, but I imagine with Corgi's fresh tyres he'll be able to get past Pez relatively quickly. As that is Mark on the back of Lidio, fresh tyres by 1 lap. We haven't seen Mark race since for a long time. So this is a good return for the Scotsman. Obviously one of our prominent stewards in the league, having been long serving for a long time through our history. 6/10 the gap to Lidio. Is he going to be able to get close enough to make a move? I would say the answer is no. Unless he's waiting until turn 4 to try and get that through. That's a good exit out of turn 3. Can he make the move stick into turn 4? Not quite close enough to shape for a move. As Leanshow's nearly caught Padge and Steely in the fight for what is net P2. We'll move back to that fight of Mark and Lidio when they get back to the main straight. For now, Steely picks up a 3-second penalty as well, so that will put Padge up into a net P2 just by simply avoiding the warnings. Mobux comes into the pit lane for his first stop. That feels quite early, in my opinion, to try and make it to the end. But we'll see what he does on the tyres. Padge doesn't pop out for a look. Mobux onto the mediums. You'd be very bold if you want to try and take mediums in 20 laps.
Yeah, he might be like
So,
trying, the hard, medium, maybe.
potentially even a hard, medium, hard.
Yeah.
Only on the mediums for 4 laps, you never know. Speaking of being... As that is Liancho
Oh,
who's tapped the back of Padge. Unfortunately spun Padge round. That might be looked at later as well, as Corgi sets the fastest lap of this race.
he's going to be on the chase now, isn't he?
100%. But you don't really want to be pushing at this stage in the race, especially if you're trying to make those tyres last.
Yeah.
You want to be more saving than pushing.
Who knows? He had the
Uh,
pace in qualifying. He might be sort of going on a leisurely
as
pace.
I think that's Liancho letting Padge back through.
That's
Sort of to
great
say,
sportsmanship.
yeah, I agree, but unfortunately it doesn't recover the time lost, so...
No.
just what you do really is Mark looking to the inside of the first right-hander of Sector 3. That's a good move as Mark moves up into P7 from P15 on the grid. It's a good recovery. There's Lydia with a big slide, nearly dropping himself out of DRS instantly. But it's a good showing from Mark at the moment. Liancho moving back past into turn 1. Padge isn't normally one to report people, so we'll see what he does about that. But
When it's a potential podium, maybe.
well, he just needs to stay within 3 seconds of the 2 cars in front, and then he should be fine
Yeah, which it still is.
at the moment. And Liancho's tyres are going to go off as well. And based off what we've seen already, Padge has a higher wing setup than the others. So his tyres are probably going to be in better shape come the end of the stints as compared to the 2 in front of him. So it's certainly something to keep in mind. And as I say that, he drops out of DRS in the high-speed section.
Again, maybe
Incredible
it's not
timing, Padge.
maybe it's not a high wing so maybe he's just suffering from the dirty air a bit more than others, not being able to sort of manage it quite as well,
Well,
sticking in that dirty air.
I think the worst range for dirty air is between 3 and 6/10. Off the top of my head.
Yeah, and he's sort of dropped down now like 1.3 seconds off of lean show.
Yeah,
Still in 4th. Still gaining a position by the end of the race if he can stick around this sort of area.
And provided KMK cannot get back through as well, because he'll be charging through on a fresh set of mediums. Speaking of being on fresh mediums, Mobux getting past Alex.
Oh, and Lydia locks up
Served.
going into turn 1. Loses a little bit of time that he gained in the DRS of Mark having to do it all again, really.
As Alex picks up 3 seconds now as well. Mobux has served that 10-second penalty, so he won't be able to recover that come the end of the race. But he'll be pushing to try and catch up to the Williams in front of Lydio. See what he can do on that front. As Liancho has now re-caught Steely. Fresh and mediums, I'm surprised frankly that they haven't gone off yet. But I think Steely will only need to hold on for a couple more laps before they do hit the cliff, so to speak. As also we have, back to the lead fight quickly, Jack has almost caught KMK. The gap that was 12-13 seconds at the start of when Jack started to close him down as Mobux that's the fastest lap, takes that away from Corgi. But he's closed in 8-9 seconds in 12 laps. That's absolutely incredible from Jack. As we've mentioned before, he's been improving a lot. It's great to see, certainly. And definitely putting in his bid for a title this season. He's got
Linsha
some
really is clinging on Steely with those tyres.
100%.
Not giving up without fight.
Mm. Yeah, Jack's going to have some stiff competition if he wants to try and win this title. Finzik, Jamie, Steely. Just
Oh,
to
and
name
Lydia
a
makes a
few.
mistake through the S's
Liam
in sector
Show
2.
comes into the pit lane. So he will get the undercut on Steely. Will it be enough to get past? I know the undercut is big, but if he comes out... Excuse me. If he comes out in dirty air, or if perhaps VSC comes out as well, as we've seen Pilska and Corgi going side by side nearly in the final sector. I just caught that on the mini-map. Corgi going for it through the Peraltada. Formula E-esque move there. Corgi moves up into P12. Pilska coming back, but Corgi getting ahead with the DRS. He'll need to defend, I imagine, into turn 1, but no, Pilska does give that up.
Yeah, there's not much you can do when you've got the DRS and you're ahead, especially when they have DRS going down to turn 4 as well.
Pilska
Pilska's
picking up another penalty. But move back to Leon Show for a bit. He's catching Lydio. I didn't quite see what the gap was at the start of the lap, but Mobux has also held on to Leon Show's DRS. So he'll be hoping to keep with while those mediums are still fresh and fast. And hopefully he can recover some of what he lost earlier on in the race. And he has stayed within DRS, so he should get it down these front two straights. As Steely and Padge have chosen to not quite respond yet. We could see an overcut in play, where potentially we could see the fresher tyres being faster at the end. This is a track where you can overtake after all. As Pilska comes into the pit lane on those ailing mediums, Pez and MC Squad, one of the closer fights on track at the moment. As Leon shown on the leaderboard, not quite able to get past Lydio. Pilska coming up behind these two. MC Squad looking to the outside. Just about gets that one done just before it moves back across. So MC Squad up into P13. As KMK finally comes in and Jack follows him. But KMK has to go mediums.
Is Lean Show going to manage an overtake down into the final section? No. Have to wait.
Now we have a real fight on our hands. KMK will have to nurse those mediums to the end where Jack can push flat out on those hards.
Lydio goes a little bit wide, coming out the final corner, second to last corner in the stadium section, allowing Lean Show and Buxy to get through. Prof Boy and Mark also pitting. Alex pitting as well. Got another... No, not another double stack. Every car's blue.
As Mobux look to be getting close to re-overtake Leon Show for a second there. I think Leon Show does not have DRS. I think the smarter play would just be to let Leon Show get on with it. As Mobux is currently doing a bit of a slide there through turn 5. Jack has already nearly caught KMK. The gap was about 1.3 when they both came out the pits. So the fact that Jack's able to even hold on at the same pace, nearly, is quite impressive to say the least. To be even close. Not quite able to get in Padge's DRS, so Padge does respond. We'll see where he comes out in relativity to Leon Show. I imagine he'll be probably 8 seconds behind-ish. So he'll have a big gap of clear air between Jamie and Lydio that he'll come out in.
Welcome Scott in the chat.
Hi, Sox. One of our tier coordinators and other streamers as well. He was one of the people that put forward 2 streams tonight as well, but unfortunately couldn't make it come the end, which is unfortunate. Would have been good fun, I think, but we're having fun anyway, aren't we? So,
Oh, we had a bit of action, and now it seems like the gaps are starting to split up again. But there's still a huge mix of tires, especially even in the top 10. People getting ready to pit, people on fresh mediums, aged mediums, fresh hards, aged hards. I think we can definitely see those gaps changing towards the final stages of the race.
100%, and especially if there's a safety car as well. Like, we still haven't seen one yet, not even a virtual.
Oh
Where,
yeah, which I think's credit where credit's due as well.
yeah, these guys have had incidents here and there, but nothing too egregious to bring out a safety car, which for racing is good. For strategy interest, I wouldn't say so, but certainly a big tip of the hat to everyone here for keeping it clean.
Yeah, it's
Steely
been a relatively
still...
clean AT2 championship so far this season, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really kept up with it. I think the only one that I saw was Brazil, and there wasn't even that many incidents there. So, and I don't think anything got reported last week either, as far as I know, as Jack picks up a 3 second. That could hand this to KMK, provided he can keep those tyres in check.
So we're gonna have a
KMK,
spicy finish, aren't we?
oh, 100%. KMK taking a podium in realistic tier Jeddah last season. First and only so far, to my memory, as Steely does finally come in. Mobux picks up a 3 second again.
Yeah, Steely on the medium tyres.
Yeah, he'll be pushing to try and catch back up to Leoncho, but they'll be quite close. I think it'll be closer with Mobux though.
No, it's going to be neck and neck with the Bobucks.
Just about losing out, but Mobux on 9-lap-old mediums.
Should
I
be an
don't
easy
see him
overtake, shouldn't
getting
it?
those to the end. There's no way, unless he's driving like 4 seconds a lap off the pace. Steely will want to get through now, pretty much, but Mobux will
Yeah, he's
is
doing
allowed
it.
to defend, but does let him go. That's a smart move from Mobux, almost doing again what happened earlier in the race with Padge. And I now can't remember who the other driver was, but how many warnings does KMK have? Now, we can't show, or I can't show that. You can tell us, but also you can't tell us.
How much battery?
Warnings
How many warnings?
for
KMK.
Mr.
Oh.
KMK.
2 warnings, so yeah.
So he's quite close as well.
Lap
Stevie
2 and
might
lap
struggle.
15.
I would say yeah. It's quite probable that the medium runners will struggle towards the end, especially compared to the hard runners. But Steely now has a 6-lap deficit, tyre advantage compared to Lane Show. Alessandro picking up a 3-second penalty as well as Mobux does come into the pit lane. I do just want to check quickly, how many stops have people made? People have only made maximum 2 stops. It feels like some people are aiming for a 3-stop, and I don't know why.
I guess we'll see. I think sometimes, as I say, they might not realise how much the tyre's wearing out. They might not have picked the harder tyre strategy. I think that so far we have KMK and Lydio only stopping once. Everyone else has stopped twice so far.
That is MC Squad, who has stopped at the final corner. Unfortunately, it looks like a spin, but is able to recover. We'll follow with Jack for a couple of laps here so that we can see his progress on to the back of KMK. But we will... if he wants to win this race, he needs to overtake KMK, break his DRS, and then gap 3 seconds.
Tall
That's
order,
a
but can it be
tall
done?
order, yeah. It's not impossible,
time penalty.
but I would say it is improbable. Especially with 8 laps to go, it's going to be a tough ask.
So far, our 3 in the top 4 that have warnings have 3 seconds. But Corgi and Alessandro on 9 seconds. Mobux, Pilsk, and MC Squad on 6 seconds. With Alex and Pez on 3. This is just another one of those tracks like Canada where penalties can change the grid.
There's a yellow again. That is for MC Squad again, unfortunately, in the S's. That's going to close them up to pairs again. As that is Mobux getting past Alex on the main straight, I believe, as Jack has made his way into the DRS.
Yeah, so it's nice to see everyone still in the race. Obviously, there's only 15 drivers, which means everyone is guaranteed points if they classify. So yeah, it's very much in their interest to keep going to the end, even if it ends up having to do an extra pit stop, which they might not want to have done in the first place. Just finishing gives them the point.
Speaking of
And
which,
just as I said that, MC Squad retires in the pit lane.
commentators gears.
Oh,
Unfortunate for MC Squad, they were having a pretty decent race before their few spins, fortunately putting them down the orders. Jack does take the lead from KMK. Now, if he wants to win this race, he needs to run. He needs to push like an absolute stabbed rat. And at the moment, the gap is about 5/10, but the dirty air will cost KMK both a bit of tyre life in order to keep up, but also probably just a lot of time in general. As Mobux sets the fastest lap.
Pez with another 3-second time warning.
Time warning. Good English. Yeah, Jack not quite able. Oh, we know it's fine. Jack not quite able to break KMK's DRS yet. Almost getting it.
Well done today. Unfortunately, if you didn't quite make it to the end, it's to say hopefully be back next week. It'd be lovely to see you again. We're racing next week.
Next week, yes, it is. And Baku is a reverse championship order sprint.
Yeah, which is always fun and gives a lot of
Chaos.
It's going to be interesting in Baku, isn't it? Yeah, having a reverse grip sprint on Baku.
Well done, Baku. Well done, Baku. How many times are we going to hear that after the race next week?
What's that?
Well done, Baku.
Yeah.
Mobux picks up another penalty, unfortunately. Is that 9 seconds now as he's right on the back of Corgi going down the main straight. Corgi on those 15-lap tyres. He's not the only one on an aged set. Lydia on 21-lap old hards. It's an incredible distance to take those.
How much life do they still have left in them? Because, you know, yeah, it's all well and good going for this long. But can you? Will the tyres give out before you get to the end? That's the question.
I would say that Jack has well and truly broken KMK's DRS now. I think he may have got DRS off of Pez. Not quite certain as Pez comes in to the pit lane. Ah, that's unfortunate.
And also have another retire.
From the race. I'm uncertain if he'd be classified or not, though. It's 90%, isn't it?
Yeah.
He might just miss out. As that is Mark getting past Lydio. Just about to give you that on track, my word. That's going to open him up to an attack as Steely and Leon show going side by side through turn 1. Oh, that was a close one.
Manages to stay ahead after making the overtake and off into the distance with having DRS. Is Lean Show going to be burning battery though?
Steely again, not opening DRS. That's a bold one.
Whoa! That was a dive and a half.
In fact, he quite literally used Steely as a brake there. That's to be frank. But by word,
yes. Steely manages to stay ahead there.
Sock's also saying not the dispenser in the chat. as Jack has nearly broken KMK's 3 second window to keep
Already,
that win. It's only been 2 laps since he got past.
the mediums are already 9 laps old. They're going to be crying now, aren't they?
Well, they'll be screaming. But
I have something interesting to say, though.
mm,
As it stands, if Steely or Leanshow in their battling end up picking another penalty, Padge is hovering around that 6 second mark.
that was a late one, but my word, Leoncho got that stopped. He's going for some punchy moves today. If these two do keep fighting, this will open up the door for Padge. He's only 5.5 seconds back. He's got 3 lap fresher tyres than Leoncho does. Steely obviously with those fresher medium tyres, but they will be going off a lot faster. Jamie as well with a good recovery from his spin early on, being tapped round at turn 6 up into P6, funnily enough. And then Mark as well, a good recovery from P15 now all the way into P7.
Yeah, so looking at penalties, since their getting their 3 second penalties, Leanshow and Steely hasn't had another warning since. Leanshow has had one warning, so it's probably unlikely that we're going to see another penalty from there. But if Padge can sort of hover around that, like I say, you never know what might happen.
And Jack has also broken KMK's penalty window. Or his penalty window to KMK.
Mo Bucks down the inside, coming into the stadium section. Lovely move.
We're seeing all sorts of punchy moves today. It's
Then there you go,
incredible to see. But
overtaking Lydio on 23-lap old hard tyres.
oh, that would probably get removed if he was to report that. Alex goes through up into P9. But
Thankfully,
good
hasn't
Lord,
damaged
what a
anything
save.
there.
That will not have done his tyres any good at all, but it does allow Alex up into P9. That's a good result from the Williams driver, and he'll be hoping to close in potentially on Mobucks and keep within that penalty window. He needs to stay within 6 seconds if he wants to get P8. So we'll see what he's able
Steely
to
managed
do.
to catch DRS back on the back straight going into sector 3, so I guess he's hoping to try and keep that. It's still hovering around that 1 second mark.
I think he's just missed it as Alessandro picks up 3 seconds again.
I think he did just miss it. However, he'll have the slipstream, and he's only, he's less than a second. He's gaining. Not close enough for an attack this time.
Jack has now broken 6 seconds to KMK.
Those tyres must be dying for
100%.
KMK. Really struggling now.
Past Corgi as well. Corgi also on ailing hards. I don't know what's happened to Leoncho, but he's lost so much time in the last couple bits of the lap.
He just gained so much on the main straight.
Even without the DRS. Which is a bit of a surprise. Maybe he's burned all his battery. As he's just missed out on DRS by a millisecond, I think. He's lost 2/10 in the middle sector in the S's. There's a yellow.
I think Steely's running lower wings.
Yeah, I agree. There's a yellow for, I believe that was Corgi.
Was it Pilska?
One of the two.
One of the two, yeah. Maybe Corgi. Dropping down to 5.9 seconds away from Alessandro now. Yeah, look at Steely gaining on Leanshow now without any DRS, and Leanshow is using battery.
Wow. Jack has now nearly broken 10 seconds and has done so to KMK as well, so something must be very, very wrong on those tyres at the end, I think. If he's not careful, he could get a puncture.
Hi, Novatech.
Hello. Welcome in, Novatech. Good to see you, my friend. I was genuinely debating saying no. But, you know, normal memes resume. But yes, Alessandro now on the back of Lydio. What the hell did I just hear? I just had a massive bang. I'm like, what? Yes, it does still work. I forgot about that one. As Alessandro getting all sorts of out of shape into turn 4-5. It's been a pretty decent recovery from Alessandro, but Lydio with 26 laps on those tyres.
Johnny B coming into chat saying holy penalties. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of penalties today in 82.
Mm-hmm. To say the least.
I think it is going to shift around some of those positionings down at the bottom.
As there's a yellow flag for Corgi. Hello. He has a puncture. What?
Corgi has a puncture.
Corgi has a rear left puncture as Jack goes through in the lead. He's already weaving. He knows he's won.
Oh no! I wonder how Corgi's managed to get a puncture.
And Lydio hasn't.
Yeah.
But through it all, it's been a chaotic race today, that's for sure. But Jack comes through to take the win. It's a dominant drive, 14 seconds by the line. What an incredible result. It's two in a row.
Corgi tried to break and just goes straight on.
Very much probably going to be the championship lead. KMK surviving on those old mediums to take P2. Leonshow will take P3. Steely taking P4 home, 3 seconds back from that. His medium's just about falling off the end. Padge into P5. Jamie with a good recovery from lap 1, unfortunately being spun in turn 6. That could be looked at as well by the stewards. Taking a good result home for V-Car. Mark with a great recovery from P15 all the way up to P7. Mobux with a good race into P8. Alex just about will miss out, I believe, on that P8 due to penalties.
Oh, half a second.
But that incident with Pilsker as well might come into factor between Mobux and Pilsker. So we could see Alex gaining position yet. Lydio on debut. Just about not getting a puncture on 28 lap hold hards. Taking P10. Alessandro taking P11. Pilsker P12. I believe that was... I didn't quite see who was P13, but P14 unfortunate retirements for both Pez and MC Squad. That's a great result for Aston overall as well in the constructors.
Yeah, with the first and fifth, I think Padge had an excellent race, really strongly sticking around that 5th place area. So yeah, there we go. Well done, Jack. That was a great race.
100%. Good watch as well.
Thank you for bearing with us. I know it might not have been the most sort of like popping off stream, but
We had fun.
we had fun.
So that is your wrap. Jack taking P1 ahead of KMK and Leonshow. Steely into P4, Padge P5, Jamie P6, Mark P7, Mobux P8, Alex P9. It's a good race from him. Lydio on debut, that incredible still on the hards. That's definitely deserving of at least a mention. Alessandro P11, Pilsker P12, Corgi P13, Pez and MC Squad. Unfortunate for the DNFs in P14 and P15. Neither of those will be classified. Right. Well, that's a bit hectic. My brain feels like mush. My throat feels like mush. I'm going to need to get a drink.
Yeah.
Before we move on to
my brain
Cars
was
Against
mush
Humanity.
anyway after watching that.
Yes. Cars Against Humanity, we're going to be doing that for a little bit after this. If you want an invite, just message myself, David. I'll see if anyone else is doing it, but yeah, that's the good fun. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm saying it's a very mixed up grid. I think in general, it's going to be interesting to see over different track types how different people will where they'll position. Like say, Baku is pretty strong track for certain drivers with the reverse championship sprint as well. Surely going to be carnage. So please join us next week for that.
Novatech, thoughts on me making an 82 DTS trailer again? God, yes, please, we need to see that. But yeah, that is your wrap this week for 82. As mentioned, we'll be in Baku next week for a sprint reverse championship. Your next race will be no assist on Tuesday, followed by 81 on Thursday, where on Tuesday, myself and COD will be fighting out at the front, and on Thursday it will be... I actually don't know with the shake around. I don't know who's going to be at the front on 81. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe a bit of a more mixed up grid. Probably Jensen's going to be at the front. Johnny B, Socks, we'll see. But yeah, that's your wrap from this week. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.